Hey guys, Winshire here from One World Order. A little bit of an unexpected surprise. I didn't know a patch was really in the works with DICE, so to their credit, here we know next week a new patch is being released in conjunction with the new DLC Close Quarters content. A pleasant surprise because, as you will see in this footage here, we obviously have some, and all of you are aware of the massive problems we're having with Battlefield 3 right now after the most recent March patch. But what I want to do in this video is talk about the new patch notes, obviously, and also I want to start a discussion about shotguns. Now, thankfully, the main problem you're going to see in this footage is the M26 Dart glitch going away. There's one player in particular on this match I'll draw some attention to. You'll see here shortly. Mirage of Penguins is his name, so look for that name here. But I want to also involve some other discussions about the players that we're seeing coming into Battlefield 3 as well. So those are the three issues I want to talk about. Let's start with the patch notes. Just the main highlights. First of all, it's going to be released, looks like, on the 4th for most of us in terms of release date on it. Depending on where you live, it may be the 5th of June or June 4th, something like that. But the number one priority right now is the M26 Dart problem being fixed. The underslung rail attachment with heavy barrel, basically giving the shotgun, the M26 shotgun, the range of normal the normal round of whatever weapon is attached on. Now, I want to take responsibility for some of the problems we had with that lately. Again, this is kind of a moot point now that they're finally addressing this. But I did put out some videos, or one video in particular, about describing the best weapons post-patch. This is, again, in the March patch. And I detailed how I like the G3 with the underslung rail and the M26 Dart. But to my defense there, we get a lot of hate mail daily about that video because now the community is more and more aware of that problem. But I didn't know at the time that that weapon was glitched, and you can see in my gameplay on that video that I was running the weapon as it should be used. It's strictly for close quarters engagement when you're like out of ammo and you're in a pinch. And that's how I've always run that, quote, master key combination that I termed it well before the patch was even released. So, you know, having extensively used the M26 Mass, the M26 Dart, I found that the Dart had more penetration power and just a little bit longer range, so I prefer that over the Mass. Again, even prior to the patch, so I just translated that to post-patch, and you know, not using it out of its intended realm, I did not notice anything overpowered about it. But now, obviously, in this footage, and everybody's seen it too. Now everybody wants to run that as the primary weapon. So thankfully, that glitch is going away. But you know, the question I'm asking is, what's the next glitch going to be? You know, prior to the March patch, it was a 12-gauge frag that was a problem. Again, to my defense, I also was on that bandwagon for a short amount of time until everybody ran it. Look at that kill. God, I love the support class of guns at QBB 95. Check out my video about this weapon as well. I've got just several videos about this weapon. It's a good weapon. But, you know, I was on board the 12-gauge frag thing for a little while, and then, you know, the more I played with it, and the more I saw people running with it, obviously I changed my opinion on that, and of course the M26 Dart. I don't run any shotguns at all here, and that's the broad topic I want to get to now. Do you guys think shotguns are ruining Battlefield 3? In particular, do you think they're going to have a huge effect on the close quarters content being released next week? We will see. But there's some other details in this patch I want to get to the patch notes prior to that discussion. So the M26 Dart's gone. They're reducing the suppressive fire effect. They're increasing your ability to increase your accuracy under suppression. So they're being careful about what they're saying here. They're saying you're going to be more accurate under suppression, but suppression's still going to be there, and it's still going to be at an increased effect, reducing your visual field like it did prior. And here we go, M26 Dart. You'll get start to see that all over this footage. And this is a good match I had going here too. So suppression's still a consideration, but they're improving your accuracy as well. They're also making some notes about identifying servers with special rules and exemptions, and of course that's a voluntary symbol that you'll put on there. It's like a little squiggly S symbol. Again, that's a voluntary thing. I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. I think you're pretty much going to either see it or not see it, and people just aren't going to really know about it. They're improving the F-35 and some vehicle tweaks and stuff like that, just minor stuff like the ECM working a little bit better and the mortar being less effective against vehicles. some AA fixes and stuff like that. Nothing really jumping out at me about that. But in terms of the soldier tweaks and stuff like that, this concerns me, guys, and this is really only applicable on console people. But they're changing auto aim, which scares me a lot. They're basically making auto aim. They're giving a buff to auto aim because they're finding out in the test trials at close quarters that when you're close range engagements, and let me guess, this is probably DICE personnel that probably just, from what my experience, they don't have that much gun-on-gun skills. So they're finding out that the close quarters auto aim's not that effective, which I've not really noticed it that much on Battlefield 3, which I really like because it's too strong on Call of Duty. I noticed that it really pulls my reticle to an enemy when I'm not even trying to aim at them. So I'm afraid that's what they're going to do here with this close quarters content coming out, and auto aim's going to be hugely affected. And everybody's going to be forced to run it because you're basically just going to get in close quarters with a shotgun, let's just say, and your reticle's just not even close to the guy, but it snaps it to them, and you pull the trigger and get one-shot kills. So I'm really concerned about this. We'll have to see what happens. That's what I've seen by far that really concerns me in the patch data now. And, continue my discussion about shotguns, I really do think they're fundamentally changing the way Battlefields play, because there is nothing at close quarters that can take out a shotgun, other than maybe an AEK 971. And even after the patch, they nerfed a lot of shotguns, reducing the pellet count from like 12 bullets or 12 pellets down to like 9 or 8. But they still, if you just get the reticle even halfway on a person, you close your eyes and you pull the trigger, you get a one-shot kill, either if it's a DAO, or a Sega shotgun, or the USAS. I mean, I hate them, and I think it's a smear on your records on Battlefield 3 if you basically have shotgun in the top 5 weapons of your loadout, because I think they're really specifically designed for people that have no gun skills. I mean, your reticle's literally like half the size of the screen. At close range, you can wipe out a whole team with a shotgun. I think that's incredibly overpowered. That really concerns me about the close quarters content, which I'm really excited about. I really like close quarters maps, but it really concerns me if we're just to be running around with shotguns all day long, and it's just going to be a big old shotgun orgy love fest or something like that. You know what I mean? But now I want to talk about, and there's some other minor details in the patch. Not really much else. It's, they are affecting some, doing some tweaks with the grip. And here's my little buddy. A little friendly teabag. Finally got around to killing this guy, but look at that. I played smartly, pushed up through it, finally get around here to the corner, wipe out the entire team, basically. And then the guy spawns on one of these, residual teammates left and gets me again with the glitch. So my question is what's going to be the next glitch? Because it's not really the glitches at the problem, it's the players. It's players like this. There's always going to be something in the game, whether it's a shotgun, the FAMAS, the frag, the M26 Dart glitch, but the common theme amongst all those problems is the player, and it takes a certain type of player to exploit weaknesses in games, and I have to go out on a limb here. I have no factual basis to support this. I would argue, though, a lot of these players that play like this, exploiting these particular glitches and trying to just piss people off and cheat the system, are ex-Call of Duty players like myself. Because I observed a lot of that kind of juvenile, just, hey, I'm just going to get in here and try to do what I can to ruin the game because I get off on it. It gets some kind of rise off of it. It gets their heart pumping. I mean, players like this really ruin the game. It doesn't matter what game it is, whether it's hackers or cheaters or kids that are like 15 years old that is immature and don't want to really challenge themselves. They just want to go around and try to take advantage of the system, and I don't understand players like that. So I'm kind of proposing a lot of things here, guys, but I want to know what you think. Is it the players that are ruining first-person shooters or Battlefield 3, or is it the weapons like the shotguns that are ruining it? Because obviously a lot of the arguments are, and I had a discussion with this player afterwards, is he is an absolute tool. But his argument is that, hey, it's a gun in the game, I'm gonna use it, and hell with you kind of attitude. You're an idiot. That's common. You get a lot of hate mail from these guys. Because I was messaging him during the map saying, the rules in the server say no M26 Dart, no shotguns, and yet people do it anyway. And without an admin on the server, there's nobody there to really enforce those rules. But people just blatantly break the rules, take advantage of the system, and use whatever means they can to exploit a weakness or some kind of obvious defect in the system. And that goes beyond just video games. I'm just talking, that is kind of indication how people conduct themselves outside of the fake world of video games. I think people that act like this are more apt to, do things outside society that are frowned upon, and it gives me an indication of what kind of person you are in reality. And I'll immediately state to you, I don't like you. You know what I mean? So, a lot of things coming up here. You can see this footage here. I had a really good match going, but eventually I just had to quit the match. I mean, because of course I ran out of time. I couldn't do a 1,500 ticket match. I had a good score, but guys like this that want to exploit the system, and whether it's just using shotguns or whatever the problem is, I think they're really ruining a lot of the experience in terms of enjoying a good game. Because a lot of players in Battlefield 3 are very mature. They're much different than Call of Duty. And I think a lot of these guys coming from Call of Duty are really causing a lot of the problems. But not to say that there isn't a lot of good players out there. There really are. I think that it's just a small few rotten apples. But I would encourage you guys to monitor your servers, report people that play like this, get them on the ban list, and let's just get them out of Battlefield 3. Send them back to Call of Duty, other games. We don't need players to act like this. That's my personal opinion. It takes a collective effort on everybody to call out people, and I will not hesitate to do it if I think somebody's acting in an inappropriate manner or exploiting the system in an unfair way, especially when everybody's in unanimous agreement about one in particular problem with the game. But I kind of brushed over just vaguely on the highlights. Again, the main things I was concerned about, this auto aim. I'm really deeply concerned about that. Hopefully it's not too strong, because I don't need this to be like Call of Duty. Thanks for watching, guys. Please like this and subscribe to the video if you enjoyed what you're watching here. There's the score here. I just left after that, but add that guy to your list. Mirage of Penguins, just unbelievable. Thanks for watching.